Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to the channel. So I am going to be trying something new today, at least starting something new today, and this is going to be a reading vlog. So I don't typically do these. I think this is really the only reading vlog I've ever done so far on the channel, so hopefully it'll be something worth watching, but I honestly have no idea. Maybe this never even ends up on the channel. I have no clue, but today I have made the decision that I want to take a deeper dive into the world of manga. So I figured what better way to document that experience than by sharing it with you guys. So that's what we're starting today. I have a stack of 8 different manga that I am interested in checking out in various degrees, I guess I'd say. And so I want to just document my experience reading through all of these, figuring out which ones I want to continue on with and which ones I can put to the side and forget about. So really, I've only read I guess technically 2 different manga in my life. I recently read Berserk Volume 1. That was good, but it's a 3-volume arc, and so I only really had the first part there, but I did borrow that from the library, so I had to take it back, and I just haven't gotten it out again yet. So I liked it, but I can't really say too terribly much about it yet because it was very short. So the only other one I read in full was Uzumaki by Junji Ito, but Uzumaki it's like the spiral story. That's how I've always heard it referred to in the past, and it's a horror story. I thought it was pretty good, but it wasn't quite, I don't know, I wasn't quite blown away by it, like a lot of people are. So I figured, you know what, let's give this genre, if that's what you call it even, let's give mangas another shot. And let's take a deep dive into this. Let's look at 8 different things here, kind of various different genres. I would say I lean heavy on horror because that's just what I enjoy, but there are some non-horror things in here as well. So I'm going to talk through these. I'm going to show you guys everything that I'm planning to read in this vlog, and frankly, I could be messing myself up because some of these, I bought 3 of these, and then 5 of them I borrowed from the library. So hopefully I will be able to renew these as we go along here if I don't get to them by the time they're due back, but we'll see. So I'm really excited about this. So I'm going to talk about these 8 different manga, and I'm going to go I'm going to talk about them in the order that I am anticipating them. So the one I am most excited about is the one I will talk about last. So the reason I want to do this is because basically, I'm going to rank them all at the end, and this is kind of my prediction. This is how I see myself ranking these at the end of this. So we'll see if I'm right as we get through them. Who knows if I will be or not, but as I read through these, I don't know if I'm going to stop every chapter and talk to you guys about it. I'll probably do after every volume and just give you my brief thoughts and decide if I want to continue on with the series or not. But frankly, I have no idea. I'm winging this entire thing, as you can probably tell. So we'll see what happens. I just wanted to get this intro film so that I can actually start reading these. So yeah, that's what we're doing here tonight. So today, did I already mention this? Today is March 11th. That's when I'm starting this vlog, March 11th. So you might be watching this a couple months from now. I have no idea how long this is going to take me, but I'm excited about it because I've never done this before. So we're going to start with talking about the manga that I'm reading for this. And I will mention, I was hoping to have at least 1 or 2 that I'd never heard anything about, and I just kind of found while browsing the shelves at the bookstore. But unfortunately, everything I have here are ones that were recommended either through a friend or through just some manga haul videos that I've been watching recently for whatever reason. YouTube recommends some weird things every once in a while, and that's what kind of got me onto this kick. So anyway, let's see which ones I'm going to be reading through to talk about. So first up is called Slam Dunk, and this is written by Takehiko Inu. I don't even know why I'm trying. I'm going to butcher every single one of these names, and I apologize right now. But anyway, this is volume 1 of Slam Dunk. And this is a pretty popular series as far as I know. I think there's 20-something volumes in this, and this is going to be one of the non-horror ones. This is basically a high school basketball team and their journey to try to make it to the finals is how I understand it. And there's going to be some romance in here as well. So this one, the reason I wanted this is because it's a sports manga. I love sports. Now, that said, of all the sports out there, basketball is probably the one I am least interested in, but that's okay. I can still appreciate basketball. So yeah, we'll see how this one is. I know there are some football ones too, which I probably should have gone that route, but I didn't. I went the basketball route. So yeah, we'll check out Slam Dunk. And I'm guessing this one will be at the bottom of my ranking order when it's all said and done, but you never know. We'll see. So this next one here is actually the first one that I bought. So that one, Slam Dunk, was from the library. This is one that I actually bought because it sounds pretty interesting. It's called, I don't know if it's called Spy Family or Spy X Family, Spy by Family. I don't know. Spy X Family is what it is here. And this one is by Tatsuya Endo. And this is volume 1. I think there are 4 volumes of this out at this point right now. But basically this is a spy story, and I'm assuming this is our main character. His mission is now to get a wife and a child, and then there's like a mission based on that. But it turns out, as it says on the back of the book here, that his wife is an assassin and the child he adopted is a telepath. So I don't know. It sounds pretty interesting. The haul I was watching about it said it was really good. So yeah, this is kind of a newer one. So I don't know. We'll see. This is another one. Like I said, I bought this one, so hopefully I like it so I can continue on. But Spy X Family. So I'm guessing this one is going to finish up on what would that be? If this was 8, this would be number 7 on the list, but we're going to see as we go here. So the next one up is a big chunkin' one, and this is The Drifting Classroom. And this one is written by Kazu Umez. So this is the hardcover. This is omnibus form. This is number 1. So I believe this actually contains 2 volumes, if I'm not mistaken, which frankly I could be mistaken. It might be 3 volumes. I don't even know how to check. This is how ignorant I am to the world of it. I have no idea. So we'll see. I don't know. It's either 2 or 3 different volumes in here, but this is about a classroom that just one day disappears off the face of the earth. And so like the families and the parents are grieving, but the students are in like this terrifying wasteland where they must fight to survive. So this one sounds really cool. Of course, this is going to be entering like more of the horror realm. I don't know how like terribly horrific it's going to be. I think it might be more aimed at like younger teens, but I don't know. We'll see. It sounds really interesting. So obviously this was another library borrow, so we'll check that one out. Sounds pretty cool. And then this one I'm really pretty excited about. This is another omnibus. This is called I Am a Hero. And this is a zombie apocalypse story. So this is another one that contains 2 volumes. And I know it's 2 volumes because it says 2 volumes in one. Makes it very easy for us illiterates here. So yeah, this one is written by Kengo Hanazawa. I should have practiced this before I started this video, but I didn't, so here we go. But yeah, so this one looks really cool. It is just a zombie apocalypse story. It's supposed to be pretty bloody and brutal, so hopefully I will enjoy this one. I love zombie stories. Never read one in the manga form before, so hopefully I will enjoy this one. So I Am a Hero is the next one I'm going to read. Now, I say the next one I'm going to read. I'm not saying this is the order I'm going to read these. This, again, is just the order I think I'm going to enjoy them when it's all said and done. So next up is the second one that I actually bought, and this one sounds really cool. This is called Dead Man Wonderland, Volume 1, and this is... I have it upside down. I am such an idiot. Okay, Dead Man Wonderland, Volume 1, and this is written by Jinsei Kataoka and Kazuma Kondo. As you can see it there, a very interesting cover art. So basically, this is about a student, I'm assuming is him there. He gets falsely accused of a murder and is sent to this, like, sent to Dead Man Wonderland, which is actually like a theme park / prison. And then all these weird, crazy, bad things happen to him while he's there. So this one sounds super fascinating. Kind of a mix of like fantasy and horror. I don't know. It sounds really cool. And if you guys don't know, manga is typically all black and white. Not all manga, but the ones I have here at least are all black and white. So yeah, that's what we're looking at on the inside there. But very interested in this one. I did buy this one just because I think the premise sounds so cool. Very excited to get to Dead Man Wonderland. So we'll check that one out. This next one I'm really excited about. I actually just picked this up from the library a couple hours ago. It's actually the premise that a film I love is based off of. I think it's called like Live, Die, Repeat, but it's Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, and I'm forgetting the female lead in it like an idiot, but she's very famous as well. But yeah, this is called All You Need Is Kill. And this is written by, who's it written by? Hiroshi Sakurazaka. So this is actually a 2-volume set, but both volumes are contained within here. So very interested in checking this one out because this basically, like, our main character is in a war. They die on the battlefield, but then they wake up the next day. They're alive again. They're at the start of the previous day. So it's like a Groundhog Day sci-fi war story. The movie is really cool. I really enjoyed it when I saw it in theaters. So I've been wanting to get this for the longest time. And so I figured a good way to do that would be to borrow it from the library and add it into this video. So yeah, very excited about this one. All You Need Is Kill, which is, again, the premise for Edge of Tomorrow, which I think is just a really great film. So excited about that one. And then we have one here. This is incredibly difficult to find in stores. Like, I've been to a ton of Barnes & Nobles recently trying to find different manga to pick up, and they literally don't have volume 1 or volume 2 of this in any of them. But this is called Chainsaw Man, and this is volume 1, written by Tatsuki Fujimoto. So this is going to be just a super violent, super bloody horror story of sorts. I guess, like, the main character is a poor young man who will do anything for money, and then I guess, like, the spirit of the devil or the devil himself takes him over, and then crazy bad things start happening. So I don't know. It sounds really good. My buddy is actually just obsessed with this series right now. So this one I'm really excited about. And this is, like, I imagine this is, if this isn't going to be number 1, I think this will probably be number 2 when I rank all these at the end, which is why I'm talking about it now. But yeah, Chainsaw Man Volume 1, really, really excited for that one. And then last but not least, and I did buy this one just because it has been on my list to purchase for literally probably 7 years now, 8 years, I don't even know. But this is written by Yoshiki Tongai, and this is called Doubt, Volume 1. So this is another really thick one. There are 2 volumes in total to this, so I can grab that if I'm interested. But this is basically, it was sold to me as kind of like a Saw story, where these, so basically there's a game called Rabbit Doubt, and it's like the thing to do in Japan when this is written, or in this world. So these friends are playing it, they decide to meet up offline. Well, all of a sudden, they all go unconscious, and they wake up in this darkened room, wearing these, I'm assuming, wearing these rabbit heads, and they have to play some games in order to survive. So absolutely something I'm probably going to enjoy, like right up my alley. Very excited about this. There's actually there's 2 more by the same author that kind of have a similar premise. So hopefully, I'll enjoy this enough to buy the second one and then continue on with his other work. But yeah, this one just sounds amazing. And this was really kind of like why I wanted to do this, because I've wanted a good excuse to read this book, to purchase this book and read it for the longest time. So now I have that excuse, and I am very excited to check out Doubt. So those are the books. Let me hold them up here. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. I think they're all upside down, but that's how it goes. This is what I'm thinking the order is going to be, starting up here with Doubt at the top, down to Slam Dunk at the bottom. That's what I'm guessing is going to be my order of enjoyment on this, but we'll see as we get to it. So with all of this said, I am really excited to get started, and I think, like, I need to start with the library books just because those are going to be due back soon. So I think I'm going to start with Chainsaw Man, because that is one that I have been dying to read, and it finally came in just a couple days ago. So I have no excuse not to read it now. So I think that's where I'm going to start. But yeah, we'll continue on in this vlog and see where it takes me. So like I mentioned earlier, today is March 11th. So I'm just curious. I'm documenting that more for myself because I'm curious how long this is going to take for me to read through all 8 of these volumes of manga. So I'm interested to see how this is all going to turn out. So I don't know. I guess there's nothing really left to do other than to get started reading. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so at my first check-in here, I ended up picking this one up randomly, Slam Dunk, and literally the only reason was because it was at the top of my pile, and I was sitting at work thinking I wanted to waste 5 minutes, so I picked this one up. Completely intended to start with Chainsaw Man, it didn't happen. So I'm only 1 chapter in, all right? So I'm like 36 pages into Slam Dunk Volume 1, and I'll just say that I feel like I was right putting this at the in my prediction list, putting this at the bottom, because so far this is not really for me. Like, this is middle grade. It feels middle grade, but it feels like a middle grade romance where I have no interest in that really. Like, I'm interested in middle grade horror, middle grade sci-fi, things like that, which this definitely is not. So I'm not judging it based on the 35 pages or 36 pages I've read, but I'm just saying, giving my first check-in, this was not great. And I think I mentioned that I think this one is pretty popular. The like little blurb on the inside here says this is one of Japan's most popular manga, or not just Japan's, it's just one of the most popular mangas of all time. So I guess I underestimated its popularity, and there are 30-something volumes, not 20-something, but yeah, so we'll see. Obviously, I'm going to continue this and see where it takes me, but hey, the first check-in, not great. I don't know. We'll see if it picks up or not. Okay, so it's later the same day, which, everything else aside, that's a good sign, because I was able to get through one of these in one day, actually just like one evening, so that's really good. So maybe this won't take quite as long as I first anticipated, but I guess we'll see how things go. But so Slam Dunk Volume 1 was not something I thoroughly enjoyed. This is not something that I have any interest in continuing. It feels very juvenile. There's this romance. So basically our main character here is trying to get a girl. He's been rejected like 50 times in a row in junior high. Now he's in high school. He comes across this girl here and decides that because she's obsessed with basketball, he wants to, try to join the basketball team. And kind of like the whole climax of this one is him playing the captain of the basketball team because he like mocks how easy the sport should be. So that's really what we're dealing with here. And it's just kind of like, if I think of like the stereotypical manga, like what I would think of as a stereotypical manga, like this is it. Like it's silly teen romances. It is a love triangle in here. Just like, I don't know, like some of the way this is written is just weird. Like at one part, like, it says like melting, it kind of gives what they're thinking. It spells it out for you, which I thought was really strange. I get, this is aimed at teenagers, and I am not a teenager, right? So I guess that's why I didn't enjoy it, but it's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, just not my cup of tea, not something I'm interested in continuing on. So yeah, finished up Slam Dunk Volume 1, and I hope this is at the bottom of the list, because I just don't know if I'd finish another one if I was enjoying it less than this one, I guess I'll say. So I don't know. We'll see. Slam Dunk is done. So we have 7 more to go, and I really want to start Chainsaw Man, so I'm probably going to start that one soon. If not tonight, hopefully tomorrow. But 1 day in, and 1 volume down. So that's a pretty good start. Okay, so we are on day 2, and I am 2 volumes in. I did finish Chainsaw Man Volume 1 today, and this was so good. It was honestly, like, better than I expected, and I think I put this at, like, number 2 on my list. So I had high hopes going into it, but it was so much fun. Basically, like, our main character, who you can see here on the back, I forget his name, Denji, is he's like poor, trying to make a living. He's trying to pay off like his dead father's debt. And so he's a devil hunter. Like this chainsaw devil came to him randomly, and he kind of took him in as his pet. And so he uses him to hunt devils. Well, in like the first chapter, I think it is. So I guess minor spoiler, but it's really in the first chapter. So what happens is the devils, or the people he's hunting for, decide that they want to get into the devil hunting business as well, so they're going to kill the devil. They want to get into the devil business, I should say, and so they are tasked to kill devil hunters. And so they turn on him, basically, and they kill him, but Pachito, I think is how you would say his name, he basically takes over dead Denji's body, and so he is, like, reborn as I guess he's technically a fiend, but not really. I think it's what they call him in this. So he is half devil, half man, and that's really where the story picks up. So it is super, like, bloody and just over the top and crazy, but there's still, like, some, like, juvenile aspects to it. Like, I think I took a couple pictures that I want to show you guys here, which I'll put up on the screen, but, like, it's just like silly humor mixed in with it, which you wouldn't expect given like what the story is about and where things are going, but it mixes in really well. It doesn't feel out of place. It just feels like it's almost charming in a juvenile way. Like, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, it made me laugh and it's funny and I am really interested in these characters. So I definitely will be continuing this one. So loved Chainsaw Man Volume 1. I am so happy my buddy recommended it to me. It is excellent. So this, of course, is now at the top of my list. So every time I finish one, I'm going to try to do like an updated ranking order. So now Chainsaw Man Volume 1 is at the top, and then number 2 is going to be Slam Dunk Volume 1. So 2 days in, 2 volumes down. This is going excellently. So very happy that I ended up doing Chainsaw Man. So can't wait to finish that one, or to continue that one, I guess. I think there's only 3 volumes out right now, maybe 4, so I should be able to catch up relatively easily. I am finding it very difficult to find like different filming locations. I am such a creature of habit. I just want to go over to my normal filming spot and film all of these, but I wanted to have some different things for you guys to look at. But look behind me, you can see my movie shelves are completely empty at this point, and I will move the camera a little bit. All of them are down here right now, as I am in the process of like reorganizing everything. I'm doing everything by genre, so I have to film this, and then I have a couple other, like a pickup video to film, and then a collection update video, and then I can work all of those movies into the big pile you just saw where they're supposed to go, and then they're going to start going back up on the wall. So that's the hope over the next couple days here, is that I can get all of those back up on the wall. But anyway, we're talking manga. So yesterday, you guys saw I did stop at a Barnes & Noble, and I did find something that I've been looking for. So this is called Dead Mount. What is it called? I can't even read the side. There, Dead Mount Death Play, rather. So this one is in a wrap at Barnes & Noble, which means there's probably things that children shouldn't see on the inside. So that'll be interesting to see what that is. But yeah, this one I'd never heard of. So I'm going to add this into my list here, and I'm going to put it somewhere probably in the middle, maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. I'm going to put another list up on the screen here, and I will include this one so you guys know where I'm planning or where my prediction is for this one to fall based on my original video or original thoughts. It sounds interesting. Obviously, it's aimed at more, adult teens or an older teen audience or an adult audience. So that's interesting to me. So I don't know. It looks really cool. Very interested in checking this one out. I'm sure I'm going to dive into this one relatively soon. But so for a reading update, I am now about halfway through Spy Family, or Spy X Family, whatever the proper title of this is. You guys can see it there. There is a little X in there, so maybe it's Spy Times Family, Spy X Family, Spy By Family, Spy Family. I literally have no clue. I really should look that up before this video is over. But yeah, so anyway, I'm about halfway through this, and I am like genuinely shocked how much I am loving this. You guys know that when they put in that relationship, that daddy-daughter relationship, I just swoon, and that's exactly what's here. So I talked about what this one is about, but basically our main character here, Twilight is his name. He is a spy, and his latest mission is requiring him to get a daughter and a wife in order to get his daughter into this like super elite private school, because that's the only place that his target will show himself publicly, so he has to get in there to accomplish his mission. And so the first mission, they go by missions, there's 5 missions, so 5 chapters. The first mission is him getting the daughter, the second mission is him getting his wife, and the first mission was just so charming and sweet, and I absolutely love this so much. So I am really looking forward to continuing this. Honestly, we have to go out to Target today, and there's a Barnes & Noble right next door. If I can find Spy Family 2, 3, and 4, at least 2 and 3, at least 2, whatever. I can find any of the others. I'm going to pick some up because I love this and I already know that I want to continue this one. So yeah, I have about 3 of the missions left to go. So I'm 2/5 of the way in at this point, and I love this. So Spy Family Volume 1, about halfway through, and I'll probably finish that one later today. So I will check in once I get that one done. But now in the meantime, I have to get that set up back there going again so I can film a couple haul videos and a collection update. So then I can start moving all this junk back up on the walls. It's not junk, it's works of art. I have to move it back on the wall though. So we're going to do that next. So I did end up finishing Spy Family today, and this was excellent. This is just such a charming story. These characters are awesome. I love all 3 of our main characters here. There was like a character in the final 2 chapters or final 2 missions of this that was introduced. He's one of the headmasters at the school they're trying to get into. He was hilarious as well. I don't know. This was just so well done. I have volumes like 2 through 4 in my Amazon cart now because I couldn't find them at Barnes & Noble today, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm definitely going to pick up the rest of these and continue on in the story because it is awesome. This is definitely a 5-star read for me. So my new current list, I'll toss that on the screen here so you guys can see that. But yeah, this was so much better than I expected it to be, and I'm so glad I read it because it is just charming, it's funny, it's just sweet. I don't know, it's just such a really well done story. So loved Spy Family and cannot wait to continue it. So I don't know, we are 3 days in. Of course, these were over the weekend here, so we'll see how things go during the week. But yeah, I should really jump into one of my longer ones because I do have a couple of longer ones. I technically could just read 1 volume of those to stay with like this whole theme of reading a volume. So I probably should do that. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm not sure where we're going to go next, but yeah, we're going to start the work week off right with something good, hopefully. So yeah, loved Spy Family and excited to keep going on. So this has been pretty good. 2 out of 3 I've really enjoyed so far. So I didn't update you guys yesterday because I didn't finish anything. I did start something though, and this is awesome. This is Dead Man Wonderland Volume 1. So just because I didn't finish it in 1 day does not mean it is any of lesser quality because it's awesome. I'm about a little more than halfway through. I will hopefully finish this one tonight. This is so good. This is just like crazy. It's a middle schooler who gets framed for a murder by this like random red guy. I don't have any idea what he is or who he is at this point, but yeah, then he goes into this prison, which is just insane. So it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it so far. So very happy that I ended up buying this one because I already am pretty certain that I'm going to continue this one because it's really cool. It's now later in the same day, a few hours later, and I was able to complete Dead Man Wonderland. I only had about 2 chapters left to go in this, and this was really good. Like, the characters in here are super interesting. I love our main character. There's clearly something more going on with him that we don't know yet. The Red Man is, like, a bigger deal than I first thought it was going to be. And then, like, his relation to that Red Man is just interesting, and I have no idea what it is at this point, but I'm very interested to find out what it's going to be. So I'm going to put up here, like, my current ranking. I give this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. So definitely one I'm glad I own because I want to continue it for sure. So yeah, I think this one is complete as well. And I want to say there's like 11 or 12 volumes of this, and so it won't be terribly difficult to complete. So I'm super interested in completing this one. But yeah, this is going really well. I think 3 of the 4 I'm interested in continuing. I keep finding new manga to add to my list. They probably won't be in this video, but maybe I can do a follow-up in the future with more manga. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun. So we are like, what, 4 or 5 days in now, I guess, and I'm 4 mangas in. So now I think I only have like 1 shorter standard volume left to go, and then everything else are the bigger ones. So I might do that one next and then jump on those bigger ones later. So another day, another volume read, which is good. So I did I Am a Hero. So this is actually the omnibus, which has 2 volumes in it. But I'm trying to stick with like what I've been doing with everything else. So I just read half of it, which is 11 chapters. So this was a longer, significantly longer volume than the others. And I'm going to be honest, about chapter 5, I finished chapter 5 and I texted my buddy and I said, I think I might DNF this because this was super slow moving, a lot slower than any of the other things I've been reading. And I wasn't connecting with it. The main character is just odd. It's very strange. I wasn't understanding what was going on. At the beginning, I thought we were picking up like at the start of the zombie outbreak, because this is a zombie book, a zombie manga. But no, like really the zombie thing doesn't happen until the end of the first volume. So it takes quite a while to get there. Clearly, like the main character has some mental health issues that he's dealing with. He's a struggling manga writer. He had a like hit series a few years back. But it only lasted like 6 months, and so it was about 2 volumes worth, and then it got canceled, and now he's working as an assistant, so he's like drawing manga for other people's work, and he's just a strange, eccentric character. He's like afraid of everything. I don't know, it's weird, and so I wasn't connecting with it at all. But as it continues on, you can see I'm halfway through this omnibus now, but as it continued on, so about chapter 6 is when it started picking up a little bit. Some of the zombie elements started to come in there, but it is just still like one of the slowest burns I think I've ever read, especially when it comes to like the graphic form. So either a graphic novel or manga, which my manga reading is incredibly limited, so obviously, but yeah, I don't know. I just didn't expect it to be this slow, I guess. And yeah, so we're finally now that we're at the end of volume 1. The whole like zombie thing is kind of in effect now. So volume 2, I think, is going to pick up things a lot quicker. So the question is like, am I going to continue this? So I will if I still have time by the time I finish everything else. If I still have time with this from my library, I'll probably read the second volume. Yeah, I'll put up the list here again so you guys can see where this falls. I think it's going to be right above Slam Dunk, so second from the bottom. But not terrible, just not what I was expecting, I guess. And just super, super slow with some really weird characters. And it's the most realistic manga that I've read so far in this vlog. Everything else is a lot more out there. It's a lot broader, bigger, whereas this is a very realistic manga. So it's just different completely, different style entirely. So yeah, so that's where I stand right now. I Am a Hero was good, not great. So hopefully the next one I will, it won't be as slow, and I'll get into it a little bit more, but we'll see where the next one takes us. So I already raved to you guys about how much I love Spy Family. Well, I'm outside of Best Buy, and I am so happy because I have been trying to find volume 2 of Spy Family for, since I read the first one, and the only one that had it was like an hour's drive away. Like that would have been round trip, an hour, and I just didn't want to do that during the week here. So I checked again today randomly, and lo and behold, what is at my local Barnes & Noble but Spy Family 2. So very happy to have that one in the collection now. Gonna get to it ASAP. And then I grabbed Spy Family 3. And while I'm at it, I picked up Spy Family 4 because why not? I love this. I'm caught up now with owning them at least. So now I got to read them to get caught up. But in Spy Family 4, like you guys, there's a freaking dog on the cover. Like... Yes, I am so here for this. I love this series so much. So yeah, very excited to get to the rest of this series. So a little haul video here in the middle of the vlog, which is never a bad thing in my book. I literally just realized what this cover's doing. Like, I just got it. It's coming down the bottom and appearing at the top. Okay. Anyway, I finished another volume, this time of The Drifting Classroom, and I think I was calling it Dissolving Classroom, which is a Junji Ito, however you say that, manga, but the short story manga, I guess, is what that one is. So I was saying the wrong thing, but The Drifting Classroom I was reading. So you guys can see I'm this far into what is, I think they call this the Perfect Edition, Volume 1, which contains the first 3 volumes of this, I believe. So I am on to I'm 4 chapters in, which is what the original volume 1 was. So in order to like stay with this whole idea that I've been doing this entire vlog, I wanted to just read the first volume to see if I was liking it enough to continue. And this one was really unexpected, I guess, because I did not realize that this was from like the early 1970s. I don't know the history of manga at all. I have no idea how far it goes back, anything like that. But this is definitely the oldest manga I've read so far. I think Slam Dunk was probably the second oldest, and that was, I think, in the 90s. I could be making this up. I really have no idea. But so okay, let me talk to you about what this is if you don't know. Basically, something happens in this city and the like school that all these students are at just kind of disappears. And they are in this really like odd kind of nothingness, drifting in the middle of nowhere. And I think I took a screenshot of like a really cool panel in this that kind of gives a good idea of what we're dealing with here. And it was interesting just because of how it's written is so, like, you can tell it's older the way it's written. The dialogue it doesn't flow like the dialogue does in newer manga. It's just kind of stilted, I guess, is the best way to describe it. But that said, like, this is not a bad story at all. This is really interesting, and it's really violent and kind of unexpectedly so, because we're following, like, our main character is a 6th grader. So we're following this, like, elementary school that has disappeared, and there is violence toward kids in this. It's just kind of like unexpected violence at points, which really hits you hard. So, I don't know, this one was good. I don't know that I'd call it well written, but it's interesting. Like, the story is really interesting. So, will I continue? Yeah, probably. I think I liked it enough to continue. I really want to know what happened. And there's only 3 of these, like, perfect editions. They're all about the same thickness, so it shouldn't be that difficult to complete this one. So this one is good for now. I will continue it, but again, it'll probably be after this vlog is done. One thing I want to talk about is I don't think I like really talked negatively about I Am a Hero yesterday, but I don't think I gave it quite the, I don't know, I don't think I spoke highly enough of it, because honestly today I've been thinking about it quite a bit, and so much so that I almost want to just go and read like the second half of that book right now, the one that I have borrowed from the library, because I've been thinking about it and I kind of want to read a little bit more and see what happens. So yeah, I think that one might end up a little bit higher on my list than I anticipated. So I think I only have like 2 more left that are from the library. No, I think only 1 more from the library, and then 2 more that I bought. So we're getting pretty far into this, so I'm pretty happy with it, how quickly this has gone, because I genuinely expected this to take like a month. But having never read a manga before, I didn't know how long it was actually going to take me. Turns out they are pretty quick to read, depending on which one you're reading. So yeah, things are going well. We have about 3 more left, if my math is right. And yeah, I just want to read this. Like, I loved it so much. I want to continue on, so I might do that, but we'll see. Excuse the sunglasses and the messed up hair, but I'm outside, and so I am in the middle about now of All You Need Is Kill, and I just reached a like, oh snap moment, so I figured this would be a good time to check in. So this is the, so apparently this manga was based on a novel, and then the movie was based on the manga, I think, or one way or the other. So I've seen this. This is, Edge of Tomorrow, or Live, Die, Repeat, if you will. And I loved the movie when I saw it in theaters, but I only saw it that one time, and I've never seen it since. So this is bringing back, memories of the movie, and it feels very similar to what the movie did. But it's done really, really well. It's really brutal. So, like, the first chapter in this, like, again, you just have a lot of violence toward younger
people, which is unusual for like what I normally read. And it's shocking, I guess, but it's done really well. And then, you know, basically our main character, if you don't know, is in a time loop. Like every time he dies, he comes back the next morning and is again like reliving the same day over and over again. So it's like a sci-fi version / war version of Groundhog Day, which makes it really cool. But yeah, this moment that just happened was just like one of those OMG moments that it's like, oh, I completely forgot about that, if it's in the movie, which I frankly don't even remember. But yeah, so really enjoying this. I'm probably, technically this is 2 volumes in one, but it's all one story. Like there's not multiple, it's not like a, you know, continuing series at all. It's basically a one shot, if you will. So I probably will finish this whole one before I move on to the next one, and I am loving it so far. So I just can't stop. I made another trip up to another bookstore. This time I decided to make the trek out to Books A Million because they also carry used books. So I thought I might get lucky, and I found some things. So let me show you guys what I got. So this is not a manga, but this is a graphic novel that I found for $1. And it's actually the 2nd volume of the Ex Machina series, which I own the 1st volume. So I figured, hey, for $1, I might as well add the 2nd one to my collection. Have not read that yet, but I think it might have been one of my books to read in 2020. I can't remember, but so looking through, and I realized, like, why am I going here when everything is full price when I can get it at Books A Million for 10% off? So it's, or at Barnes & Noble for 10% off. But then I remembered as I was walking the used books, and so I found some completely random, never even heard of series with used books, but I grabbed everything they had of them because I don't think I'm going to find them this cheap again. So these are about like $3 to $4 a volume. So I don't know anything about this, but this is called Merman in My Tub. So yeah, the reason I decided, and I got volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so the reason I decided to grab this was just because I learned about this website called like My Anime Life or My Anime Library or something, MAL, whatever it is. And it was rated like a 7.5 or 7.6 out of 10. So it's supposed to be pretty good. It's a comedy, kind of like slice of life, I'm guessing. This merman shows up in this guy's apartment, and they have to figure out how to live together. So no idea. One thing I've been learning as I'm going through this is that you should never limit your genres, if you will, or not genre, but like who it's aimed at, the demographic. That's the word I'm looking for, because you can find some really cool things outside of what your typical demographic is. So that's why I figured I would give this one a shot and see if it's any good or not. It was super cheap, so I figured why not. This next one I'm actually really excited for. I have heard of this before, but I've heard of it as either an anime or there might be, I think there's like a video game series about it, and I think that's how I've heard of it. But all 3 volumes, so this is the entire series were here, and they were only like like $4.25 is the most expensive one. So this is a really good price because these are normally $13 each. And I saw like an eBay listing had them at like $35. This is significantly cheaper than that. But this is Steins Gate. Steins Gate? Yeah, Steins Gate Volume 1, Steins Gate, well, that's Volume 3, but Steins Gate Volume 2, and then Steins Gate Volume 3. So this one looks like a time-traveling manga of some sort. Sounds interesting, the entire manga series, so it's short so I can read the whole thing. Now again, you know, what is this? Merman in My Tub and Steins Gate are not going to be things I read for this vlog, but I figured because I was out here and I bought some manga, I might as well share it with you guys. So yeah, so now the plan is to hit up Target. The buy 2 get 1 free sale just started, and I have some groceries I have to grab. So I'm going to see if there's 3 Blu-rays in store that look interesting to me. If not, I'm hoping to do a purchase later this week because Godzilla 4K comes out. I'm hoping that that's going to be part of the buy 2 get 1 free sale, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm going to hit up Target, grab some groceries, head home, and then hopefully I will be able to finish the All You Need Is Kill manga that I'm reading right now, and then I'll be able to check in with you guys soon. So yeah. So I am all the way through this one now, and this is a really good story. So Just like the movie that I enjoyed this one probably equally as much. I might like the movie a little bit more. I don't know. I'd have to see it again. I want to watch the movie again now after having read this. But I guess like I don't really know if I want to give this one 4 or 4.5 stars right now, having just finished it. I'll let you know down here what I give it, obviously, when I'm editing. But right now, I'm not sure what it is. But it was really good. The ending, it does feel a little quick, I guess. The romance in here, obviously there's a romance between like the two main characters, and it feels a little fast, a little rushed as well. So that was like kind of my only disappointment, and I don't even know if it was that disappointing, but it is what it is. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is an awesome sci-fi action thriller manga, so if you guys are interested in that, check this out if you haven't. It doesn't, from what I recall from the movie, when I saw that in theaters, I don't think this differs too terribly much from the movie. So if you like the movie, you'll probably enjoy this. Very excited that I finally read this. This was one of those that I'd always heard about over the years, and just because I never was too interested in manga, I never picked it up. But yeah, very happy that I have now. So 2 more left to go, and they're both ones I own, which is good. I have Doubt Volume 1, which is another big one, almost the same size as this, I think. And then there is, I forget the name of it. It's something Dead something, but I can never remember the name of that one. But yeah, so gonna do those 2 next, and hopefully wrap up this manga reading vlog. All right, so later the same day, I finished Justice League. The Zack Snyder cut is brilliant. It is so good. Even as someone who enjoyed the original Justice League in theaters, I think this director's cut is just, it's a completely different movie, and it is amazing. So definitely recommend that one. But we're here for manga. So I ended up grabbing the I Am a Hero omnibus again, and finished volume 2 in this. So I've completed this whole thing now, which I wasn't expecting to do, but it's just been on my mind since I finished it. So I wanted to go back and do it, and I was able to get through the second volume really quickly. So I enjoyed this one a good amount. I think it's better than the first one. It's just more interesting than the first one, I guess. The zombie action is finally here, and it's just pretty much all action in the second one here. So I'll put up here again the order of things, and I will include this, so I guess that would make an even 10. I don't know if I'm going to go back to Drifting Classroom and finish that one or not. I'll probably do that after the vlog. But yeah, so I still got 2 more to go, and I'm hoping to finish one of those tomorrow, and then the other one in a day or 2. So hopefully I'll be able to get through the rest of these in the next couple days. So I think I ended up I'm going to give I Am a Hero probably volume 2, probably 4 out of 5 stars. So a little bit better than the first one, which I gave like 3 or 3.5 or something. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm glad that I ended up going back and finishing, and I will probably continue to borrow these omnibus volumes from the library just to keep reading, and until it gets boring at least, but we'll see. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing tonight. So tomorrow we're gonna keep on trekking through. Got 2 more to go.
As you guys can see, we are back at my normal filming location, and I'm getting ready to film like one of my normal videos, so I figured I would just do an update here. It just makes sense. So I finally have the title, Dead Mount Death Play, Volume 1, the one I keep forgetting the title of. I am about halfway through this one now. I'm on chapter, I think, 5 of 8, and so this one it's good. Admittedly, it's a little confusing for me. I'm not like 100% sure I'm grasping everything that's going on, but I'm having a good time with it. Basically, our main character is, I don't even know what he is at the beginning here, but it's like 1,000 years in the past. He's basically a death dealer of some sort, a lot of magic involved, things like that. And he ends up like time traveling somehow and ends up in this person's body, who is a recently deceased individual, and he wakes up in his body in a new time. He's like in present day, and the girl who just killed him is basically now trying to figure out how this person isn't dead, and is now chasing him. That's kind of where it picks up. We're a little bit further than that now, but I don't want to give any spoilers, obviously. And I don't know, it's good. It's just, I don't know if I'm gathering everything that's happening. So, there's that. But yeah, so about halfway through that one. And then I will mention I took back a bunch of books to the library today. The only two I ended up keeping was, first off, The Drifting Classroom, because it's a big, chunky one here. And I think there's actually 3 volumes in this. And so I'd like to continue this if I get around to it after this vlog is done. So figured I'd keep it. And then the other one I decided to keep, and it's Slam Dunk Volume 2. So I keep watching manga hauls and manga collection tours, and so many people put Slam Dunk up there as one, like the best sports manga of all time, and 2, just one of their favorites of all time. So I figured, you know what, Brent, like you need to keep going to see if maybe there's something you're missing. So I figured, hey, at the end of this vlog, if I still have time, I might as well give this one a read. It won't take me very long. It's not super, lengthy. So why not give it another shot? I want to show you guys the books I picked up from the library today because just to give you an idea of kind of like what I'm interested in terms of manga, what I want to read, and what I have. So I'll probably be reading these after I finish this vlog. But the first one here is Pokemon Adventures Volume 1. This is another real chunky one. But I believe this is like the story of Red and Yellow, which I played back on the Game Boy way back when. I used to collect the cards when I was much, much younger, when it was super popular in the mid-90s. But I have not done anything Pokemon in a decade more, I don't even know. So but I've heard really good things about Pokemon Adventures, so I figured, hey, why not give it a shot? Maybe I will fall back into the Pokemon lore yet again. So I grabbed that one from the library. And then this is one that keeps popping up on virtually every collection tour, every manga haul. Everyone loves this, and this is Beastars Volume 1. So I didn't realize it at the time, but after I ended up putting it on hold at the library. It turns out this is actually a slice of life manga, which I didn't expect. I thought it was going to be more like murder mystery or something like that. But yeah, so this is just like animals as opposed to people, a slice of life. So I don't know, it's going to be interesting. I will mention like my buddy just read this, and he actually read the first 3 arcs and said it wasn't for him. So hopefully I will like it more, but we'll see as we go. And then last but not least, I don't hear anyone talk about these. I think I saw them in one random haul, which is what made me pull it up. But this is called Alive. And so basically this is a manga series about a virus that sweeps the country and it's causing people to commit suicide. So this one sounds super interesting. I'm very intrigued to check this out. So ended up grabbing Alive Volume 1 and really looking forward to checking that one out. So yeah, very excited about this, guys. Like, I'm really enjoying what I've picked up so far and what I've been reading. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm hoping to, I'm hoping to finish this one. I won't do it tonight because I have to edit and I have to film and then edit for a video for tomorrow, but I will finish this one tomorrow, I'm sure. So, yeah, looking forward to completing that one and seeing if I want to continue on with that series or not. So, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, so I just finished Dead Mount Death Play Volume 1. And it was pretty good. It's like the first the first time I've seen fan service in one of these. And so that was interesting. That was a little different. But yeah, just overall, like, I don't know that I fully grasped everything that was going on in this. I got it a little bit more as the story went on. I started liking these characters a little bit more, but I don't know if there was enough to really make me want to continue this. And I did buy this one, and it is a $13 book. So I don't know if I'm going to continue it or not. I might just end up selling this one. I don't know. We'll see. I guess with a lot of these, I've been thinking about them like days after and realizing that I like them a little bit more than I first may have thought. So who knows? I'm not going to get rid of it right now, but yeah. So this one I'd probably give like 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was pretty good, but I wish it was a little more coherent, a little like it felt like really random. Like there was just some like random panels in here that didn't really make much sense to me. Again, it's probably my ignorance more than anything. But yeah, so I don't know. It was fine. Not the best. Not my favorite for sure. So I'll put up here again the list, the order of things and where this one falls in so you guys can see that. And we only have one left, you guys. We are up now up to Doubt. So this is the one that I put at the top of my list, I believe, when I first did this. And I think I was anticipating this to be my favorite one. So we'll see if it can top Spy Family. I Don't know if it can or not, but we're going to see. So only Doubt left to go, and I'm hoping to finish that one. Either I'm going to start it today. I probably won't finish it today because it is a real thick one. So start it today. Hopefully I'll finish it tomorrow or the next day, and then we'll do a wrap up and see where everything fell from what I expected to the end of this. So we'll see where things go. So I am officially done. I read Doubt. I just finished this one just now, and so this big chunky one here. And I will say that I liked it, but I didn't love it like I was hoping I would. That said, I will still spend the $20 and finish up the story because this is only half the story, obviously. So I want to know how it ends because it's very much in the vein of Saw, something like that. This group of friends are playing. They play this game called Rabbit Doubt, which is super popular, and they decide to meet up in person one day, and that turns out to be a bad idea because they all basically like get knocked unconscious somehow and end up in this warehouse, this abandoned warehouse. And so then they are trying to play the game to figure out who the wolf among them is, who the killer is. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, but I think like out of all of the manga I've read, I feel like the translation was the worst in this one, which was really disappointing because it made some of the moments just not work very well. It felt just awkward and I don't know, just stilted dialogue, I guess. It was just weird. So that part was disappointing. I didn't really see that too much with the rest of the manga, but this one I definitely felt it. So that was disappointing. But yeah, so liked it, didn't love it like I was expecting, but again, I'm going to finish it. So yeah, so that's all of them. So now I'm going to go down to my normal filming location and film kind of a wrap-up to conclude this vlog and talk about some takeaways, things I've learned, things like that. It's not going to be very revelatory, but I feel like it's a good way to wrap things up. So let's do that now.
Here we are at the end of this reading vlog, and at this point I have no idea how long this vlog actually turned out to be or how long this video is because I haven't started editing at all yet, but I'm guessing, given who I am, that this is probably going to be a pretty long one, and I ended up talking about 10 different manga throughout this, so it's probably pretty lengthy, so thank you so much if you're still here watching this. I really do appreciate you guys sticking through this, but so I wanted to talk about kind of just some of my final thoughts on this, some things I've learned, what I plan to continue reading, maybe some other things I'm planning to check out, things like that. I'm going to actually recorded this already and realized that I just forgot some things. So I do have my handy dandy note here so I can remember what to talk about as we go through this. But yeah, so if you see me glancing down, that's what I'm looking at. But I know this wasn't like your typical vlog that you would see on a lot of like booktubers channels, but I don't do a ton of things outside of shopping for movies or books or just other media in general. I work, I hang out with my wife and kid, and that's about it. So I didn't have a whole lot to show outside of that, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed what I did end up showing. But yeah, it's not typical like you see me reading a ton, different things like that, or going all these different places and so on and so forth, but hopefully that's okay. And I will mention right up front here that I do have another idea for another vlog that is kind of similar to this, kind of related in a way. So if you guys have any tips on things you'd like to see me do differently in my next one, please leave those down in the comments below. I always appreciate that. But I do want to talk about a couple things that I picked up since the last time I checked in. And the first two here I want to talk about are from the library. So you guys know, like I picked up the majority of these from the library because it's free. Why not? So the first one I grabbed is just the second omnibus for I Am a Hero. So clearly this is one that I enjoyed enough that I want to continue. I would love to have these in the physical form, but I hear that once you get after like omnibus 5 and on, that they get very difficult to find. So I'm not going to pay ridiculous prices for them. They're like already marked at $20, which I think is a good price for them. So I don't want to pay more than that. So I'm not going to probably end up collecting these, at least in the physical form, because I hear they get hard to find. And then the other one I grabbed is one I'm really interested in. This is actually a set of short story mangas. So this is from Junji Ito, who is one of the more famous horror manga artists out there, horror manga writers. I'm very interested in checking this one out. Like I said, it is short stories, so I've yet to do a manga in this style, so intrigued to see what that one's all about. And then we did end up making another trip to Barnes & Noble a couple nights ago, and I had to pick up the second volume of Doubt. So this is now the complete story. I have Doubt Volume 1 and Volume 2. It's the full thing, though I know like the idea for this continues in Judge and in Secret, both by the same author here, and it's going to be like people locked in a room again, so very Saw-esque. So I actually, when I filmed this yesterday, I had not read this, but I did finish this today. So I guess I'll just like include it in with my original Doubt. I gave them both. I think I started off giving Doubt Volume 1 4 stars. I may have even said that in my wrap up. I don't remember. But I ended up lowering that a little bit. I'm giving it 3.5, and I'm giving Doubt Volume 2 3.5, and it's going to fit in the same spot as Volume 1. So I'm just going to lump them together. So it's still just 10 items on this list here of manga that I completed. But yeah, so I'm going to put up now on either side here, hopefully, I'm going to put up the original order, my prediction order of rank, to see where I started, and then on the other side, I'm going to put up where I ended, so how this order actually fell out. So I'm just going to look at my list here on my other phone. So at the top of the list is Spy Family. I loved it. I ended up buying volumes 2, 3, and 4. Super excited to continue that, which I will be doing here very shortly. And then number 2 is going to be Chainsaw Man, Dead Man Wonderland, All You Need Is Kill, and then I Am a Hero Volume 2, and then I'm going to put Doubt there to round out the top 5. So Doubt's Volume 1 and Volume 2. So as you guys can see, like I really expected Doubt to be my favorite. So that was probably the biggest change here. I didn't expect to like Spy Family nearly as much as I did, but it's just so cute and charming, and I need to know what happens next. And then I Am a Hero Volume 1 I did put right below Doubt, because I think the first volume is it's lesser than the second volume, I'll say that. And then The Drifting Classroom in there, which I didn't dislike at all. It just didn't end up in my top 5. I think it's still a good manga that I am planning to continue. I have the library book right over there to finish that first like omnibus volume. And then Dead Mount Death Play and Slam Dunk wrapping it up in the bottom 2, which again, nothing I disliked there with Dead Mount Death Play. I just wasn't really following it as much as I'd hoped. So that might be one I give another read, or it might be one I end up just unhauling. I don't know, because that is one that I ended up buying. But the last one there is Slam Dunk, and that's one that I don't know what it is about it. It's just, I think it's because everyone keeps talking about how great it is and how it's one of their favorites, that giving it only one volume probably isn't fair. So I do have volume 2 sitting over there with Drifting Classroom. So I am probably going to read that one before I take it back to the library. But it's not something I'm going to collect, at least at this point. Maybe if I, start reading volume 2 and I start really enjoying it, I pick up volume 3 from the library, and then it could just snowball from there. But at this point, that was my least favorite read in this manga vlog. So 10 items on here that I ended up doing in about 2 weeks. So I'm really happy with that, because when I filmed my intro video, I really expected this to take me like a month, sometime, frankly, even 2 months, like it could have. I didn't know how long it would take me to read a manga, and it turns out it takes me about, on average, about a half an hour to read a single volume of a manga. Like Doubt, for example, which is basically the size of like 2 manga. This ended up taking me about an hour to read. I read it all in one sitting. I was really, wanted to get to the end. I wanted to see how things were going to wrap up. So that only took me about an hour to read. So the fact that I paid $20 for it, as you can see there, minus like the 10% discount at Barnes & Noble. I don't know if it's really worth it or not for an hour worth of reading. To contrast that, I'm actually reading, Batman related, The Dark Knight Returns right now, and that one is super lengthy. It's from 1986, so it's just like, and it's Frank Miller, so it's just a little wordier than your typical graphic novel, and it's taking me so long. Like, I had to stop in the middle of the second book, because I'm just like, I feel like I've been reading for an hour, and I've not even finished the second book yet. So, yeah, it's so different reading a manga versus a graphic novel in that form. But talking about some of the lessons learned here, I guess the first one and the biggest one, the most important one, is that I love manga. Like, it is a wonderful medium of storytelling, and so many artists are doing so many really cool things. These storytellers are doing really wonderful work in this medium that, frankly, I had never spent any time with. So the fact that I now can bring manga into my life, and it'll be on this channel moving forward, of course, in my haul videos and my wrap-ups, things like that. The fact that I can bring that in my life now is really exciting. And I was at Barnes & Noble yesterday and just like thinking how overwhelming it is, because this is all so new to me. Like, the fact that all of these stories are out here that I still have yet to encounter. Everything is new at this point, excluding these 10 that I've read here and maybe 1 or 2 other things previously. But virtually everything is new. So everything catches my eye. Everything looks interesting, but I couldn't possibly afford to buy all those. I couldn't possibly manage the time to read everything. So it's really going to be a matter of kind of narrowing it down to the things that interest me most. And on top of that, another big lesson I took from this is that doing it in this way, reading a volume at a time, is not how manga should be read. these stories are not like stories that you see in comic book runs that are eventually fit into a graphic novel form, or a trade paperback form, if you will, where they are 6-issue stories, 4, 5, 6-issue stories, whatever the case may be. And then you get a full, complete story that kind of sort of stands on its own in a graphic novel, in a trade paperback, whereas in a manga, that story can go 3 volumes, it can go 14 volumes at points, it just depends. So reading them one volume at a time is not really doing them justice, and so that was one of my big takeaways. You really should grab a handful of different volumes for a series that you're interested in, whether it's borrowing them from the library or purchasing them. However you want to do that works fine, but get a couple, get a few. Make sure, if you're able to, check and see if you can find out what the first story arc is. Like with Berserk, which I didn't talk about in this vlog, but I did read the first volume of that right before this. Berserk, the first arc is the first 3 volumes. So to really get an idea if you're going to like that or not, you really need to read the first 3 volumes, not just the first volume, which is basically like, you know, if it's a 3-chapter story, it's basically chapter 1 of a full story. So it's not giving that story enough time to breathe, which some people might not want to give it that much time to breathe, you know. Maybe reading 1 volume is enough and you're just ready to move on, and that's completely up to you. You do you, right? But yeah, so that's what I've learned, is that I need to, if I'm going to pick up a manga series rather, I need to at least get a few so I can really tell if I enjoy it or not. So that's one of my other big takeaways here. The other one is the idea that demographics really don't mean much in the world of manga. Like, there are incredible stories to be found throughout all demographics, whether it's a story that's aimed at a you know, high school girl, or an adult male, or a teenage boy, whatever the case is. There are wonderful stories in the world of manga throughout all of these, and that's not necessarily what I learned by what I read in this vlog, but from, you know, reading these, it got me interested in other people's collections, other haul videos, things like that. So I have been watching a ton of manga related videos on YouTube, and so those are some things I've learned from them. Like, I picked up Merman, there's a Merman in my tub, or whatever it was called, from Books A Million, which I showed you guys a little bit earlier, and that is not something I would normally grab, but because I learned the fact that demographics don't mean much, I wanted to give it a try. With that, there are some other series I want to pick up, like Rent a Girlfriend is one that I'm very interested in. People have been talking about how great it is. There's an anime series that has been highly regarded, so I really want to check that out. Dragon Ball, which is a shonen manga series, probably the most famous of the shonen, and I really want to check that out. I'm planning on picking up, like, there's an omnibus that has the first 3 volumes of the original Dragon Ball. That's one I'm going to check out soon. And then there was one more, if I can remember what it is real quick, Goblin Slayer. That's one I definitely want to seek out, because it's supposed to be good for fans that like RPGs, role-playing games, and so I don't play a ton of RPGs, but I would love to. Like, if I had the time to dedicate and the patience to play them, I would play more. So maybe reading it in the manga form is kind of the way to do that, which, like Persona 5, I really want to know that story, so maybe doing the manga of Persona 5, I might do that. I actually have those books, like, in a list at my library that I hope to pick up soon. So yeah, so demographics mean very little in the world of manga. That's my big takeaway there. Outside of that, I found the website called My Anime List, or MAL as people refer to it as, and that is basically like a Letterboxd or an IMDb for manga and anime. You get a really good, like, overview of what am I trying to say, like a rating for the series, like a good overall rating for a series that way. That's why I decided to pick up Merman in my tub, because it had a pretty good rating on Mal. So yeah, that's a good website that I've discovered recently, and so just wanted to check out. I'm sure if you know anything about manga or anime, you probably already know about it, but just in case, I just discovered it, so I figured I'd share. And then the last one is kind of like, there's 3 ways to collect or to consume manga. You have the library, which is what I did a ton in this video. You have purchasing, which obviously I did some as well, but then you have purchasing physical, which I did, versus purchasing digital. So those are kind of like the 3 main ways, right? Physical purchases, digital purchases, and library borrows. So for myself, I really see myself utilizing all 3 of those. If there's a series I'm loving, like Spy Family, I'm going to continue to purchase that. I actually have in my Barnes & Noble cart right now, I'm going to purchase soon here, is Chainsaw Man, volumes 1 through 3. Volume 4 is coming out soon. I want that in the physical form. And then Dragon Ball, if I enjoy that, I'll probably do that in the physical form. What else? I think that's pretty much Doubt, obviously, I have in the physical form. But yeah, those are the ones that I'm super interested in having physically, because I enjoyed them so much. But if there's ones that I just want to try out, I'll go to the library. If my library doesn't have it, then I can do the like Kindle version, which is going to be notably cheaper. Like a $13 manga at Barnes & Noble or Amazon or something might cost $7 if you do the digital version. So though I don't typically have a huge digital library that I read from, I should correct that. I do have a large digital library, but I don't often read from it. If there is a manga series on there that's just really hard to find in the physical form that I really want to read, that's a good route to go as well, and it's cheaper, so that's always a good thing. The last little lesson, I guess, that I learned from this is that coming in, I wasn't really excited about the black and white aspect to manga, because virtually everything I read was literally everything I read was black and white. But here, after reading 1 or 2 chapters even of my first manga, it just became a non-issue. The black and white works really well. Some of the art is better than others, which I feel like I did the art a disservice in this vlog. I didn't really talk too much about the artwork, but there was definitely some that I enjoyed more than others, and there was some that it was a little bit more confusing to me than I would have liked. Like Chainsaw Man I loved, but the action in that, it was so hectic and crazy that it really slowed me down in reading it. And that happened a little bit with All You Need Is Kill as well. There was just some panels in there that were kind of so crazy that it took me a while to like concentrate and figure out what in the world I was looking at. So that was the only thing that kind of slowed me down. Yeah, it's not something that like hurts it or really detracts from it too much, but it is something to keep in mind as you're going through these. It might be something you encounter as well. So yeah, that's kind of the last lesson that I learned, I guess, in there. So yeah, those are my thoughts. This is what I think about manga. Like, it's a wonderful medium, and I'm excited for my next idea for a vlog that I have. But again, let me know if you guys have any tips or tricks to improve my vlogs, because it's not something I typically do. I would love to hear some guidance from you guys down in the comments below, and let me know, have you guys read any of these manga that I talked about here today? Please let me know down in the comments if you liked them, if you hated them, whatever your thoughts were, and even more importantly, if there are other recommendations that you guys have based on my order of ranking these and based on what I like, what I've disliked with this vlog, please give me those recs down below. I would really appreciate being able to pick up some more recommendations based on your guys's, or pick up some more titles based on your guys's recommendations. So as always, leave those comments right down below. But that is going to do it for this probably super long vlog today, guys. Thanks again for sticking to it through it to the end. I really do appreciate that support. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below and consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. And if not, well, thanks for watching this one. I really do appreciate that. And like I always say, I don't just talk manga, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, graphic novels, video games. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all again so much for watching. And I want to encourage you to read some manga today. I'll catch you next time.